What's up, everybody, and today we are getting back to our rebuild grind as we are going to the north. We are going out there to Canada where we will be rebuilding the Toronto Raptors, who have an interesting team. Pascal Siakam, I was about to say Pascal Siakam, interesting player. He had a couple great years there around when Kawhi was there. But last year, all of his major statistics went down. Nothing horrible. But since we're not a winning team this year, do we really think he's going to be good enough in the next few seasons to win? That's debatable. I'm not going to make too many moves. I want to keep these a little realistic. Not anything crazy, but something just a little better. Now, let me move. I'll actually move myself to this side. There we go. Looks better to me. Obviously, Gary Trent Jr., 22 years old. Scotty Barnes, 20. Kim Birch, 29. Precious Achiuwa, 22. We're just going to simulate this first season and see what this team's like. I may make a trade at the trade deadline, and we'll see what happens. We're not going to be good, but I don't really expect us to be, so let's see what we do. So here we are, end of Season 1. Luka takes MVP as he always does. Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year as usual. Drummond, Giannis, Daniel Gafford. That one's a little different. These guys. And we really didn't have too much going on. I do have Scotty Barnes on the rookie first team. Other than that, nothing too much. As you can see, we finished at the 13th seed, so that's not the greatest, but could have been worse. And honestly, worse would have been higher up. I wish we would have gotten a little lower than that. League meetings, make sure all that's... Alright, so here we go. We are currently projected to get the 3rd pick. Number 1, no, we dropped a 5. Come on now, game. Come on, game. We needed to get that 1st overall pick. And, I'll be more than willing to trade for it. Let's see who has the number 1 overall pick. Let's go over here. Who has the number 1 overall pick? It is the Detroit Pistons. Stepien rule should not exist in this league. Swear I turned it off. I guess you... Oh, here we go. Trades. Should be off. Yeah, all of this should be off because that doesn't really happen too much in the NBA. They be trading their picks all the time. Alright, so let's go over here back to Detroit. We're getting Chet Holmgren in this one. We had him back in our Sacramento Kings rebuild, and we're getting him. Oh, he has way too big of a contract. Who could we trade that would be younger and valuable? Svi Mikhailuk. And a 2nd. And, no. There we go. I meant to put next year's first, which they won't accept, obviously. But with the 2nd added, and another 2nd added, I don't particularly want to give up any of our young cores. OG, though, is a small forward, which he's the same height as Scotty Barnes, who's apparently a power forward. Maybe we'll just let's stick to this pick. We'll go in and see what's going on. I'm going to go to my pick. We're probably going to end up trading it anyways because we want to start being good this year. And a rookie, besides like one of the top guys, wouldn't really get us there. So let's see. 6 trade offers. John Collins and Derrick Rose is in Atlanta. That's not a bad trade. I mean, Derrick Rose we could do without, in my opinion. But that makes it invalid for them. I would take... No, we couldn't really get anybody else. Duncan Robinson. Every series gets traded. We could bring in Duncan Robinson to come off the bench, but that wouldn't make too much sense. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Where's D-Rose? That's where he was on here. There we go. We're going to go ahead and take that trade, and we are going to simulate to the end. We don't have any more picks, unfortunately. Chet Holmgreen, 81 overall. Charlotte, they got a stud there. Who would we have had? 73 overall. Okay, I'm kind of glad we traded that away. Alright, team options. Precious, you're coming back. Malachi Flynn, you're coming back. Delano Banton, you can leave, I guess. Interesting free agents. A lot of people accepted. Old Crazy Eyes Bobby Portis, champion, did not accept. Qualifying offers. Yuta, you can go. Freddie Gillespie, you can go as well. And let's go ahead and look at this team right now. So right now, John Collins is the best player. But let's go over here and let's see which teams have decent players that did not that great in the offseason, if that makes any sense. I'm going to let go of all of my cap holds that we have. Goran Dragic, $23 million, you can go. And Chris Boucher, we'll let him go as well. So I should have... I don't want to skip the player progression. Still don't have much money left. It's probably because of John Collins and Fred VanVleet. But what if we pair Derrick Rose? I'm not giving up Gary Trent. Gary Trent should have a big role with us in the future. Anything interesting? Let's go over here, and like I said, this is a good way to find a team that's willing to trade away their stars. Let's go see. Everybody seems to be buying. Everyone's buying. Alright. Let's see what our roster is looking at right now. Decent. We need a small forward, and we're not that great, but we do have valuable pieces. So, would Scotty Barnes go up as a small forward is my question. OG goes down as both positions. Scotty Barnes does go up as a small forward. And here's the thing. I like OG, but he's not very happy right now. And I feel like if we pair OG with a good pick, we could easily get someone of decent value coming back. Preferably a center. I did see Miles Turner in there, but he's on a one-year deal. I would like to get someone that's on a more long-term deal, but it looks like that's not an option. So we may have to go to the beginning of the season, and because yeah, we don't have money for anybody. We may have to go to the beginning of the season and offer up some trades once the teams are made. So I'll see you guys when we get there. So taking a look through the teams here at the beginning of the season, a few teams that caught my eye. We have the Spurs and the Timberwolves are rebuilding. No crazy teams. Typically, the teams that you would expect to be rebuilding are the ones rebuilding. So we are going to go over here. Fred VanVleet's getting a little worse every year. He already declined a little bit. And we're going to go over here. Zach LaVine actually left Chicago. We're going to go over here and see what we can do with this trade right here. I feel like Lonzo Ball in 2K has become dominant in his own right. And, okay, that works for me. I didn't expect it to be that easy. We need to actually go over here and turn off all this stupid stuff right here. Morale is just, they've never been able to make it right in 2K. They always the players get so angry so quickly. But here we go. Now our new starting lineup: Lonzo Ball, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, John Collins, Precious Achiuwa. And don't worry, we ain't finished yet. We're going to go over here. Let's look at some more teams that are rebuilding or selling. Most of them were rebuilding. Anybody interesting? The Spurs have DeAndre Ayton now, so that's interesting for them, but they're also rebuilding. And he's on a $22 million contract. What about Devin Booker? Would that make any sense considering they're rebuilding? The Thunder have Colin Sexton somehow. I think Anthony Edwards would be a nice addition to this team. John Collins could play center theoretically. I think this is what we'll do. We'll run John Collins at the center, Gary Trent Jr. at small forward, and Scotty Barnes at power forward. We'll just have an ultra small lineup. So that gives us room to bring in Devin Booker from Phoenix. They don't have him as untouchable, I don't believe. We need to make up $15 million though. Only way we do that is by giving up OG. No, they consider him untouchable. So let's go over to our second option. On the rebuilding team, the Minnesota Timberwolves have a guy we like to call Ant-Man. And I know this trade straight up ain't going to work. But we'd be willing to throw y'all a ton of picks if we're able to get Anthony Edwards on this team. They consider him untouchable. So I think we won't be able to get him. But let's see. What if instead of a first round pick we throw you OG? You guys would have to make up a lot of money. You could give us Malik Beasley. Yeah, there's no way they're accepting that. So we may have to go to Trade Finder just to see if there's anything. Anthony Edwards, nothing. So they'll trade for Karl Anthony Towns, but they won't trade for Anthony Edwards. But we had him recently, so I'm not going to put him in another video at least. What about, let's see here, anybody interesting we could trade for that would kind of put this team over the hump, I guess would be the word. Domantas Sabonis would be interesting. Of course, they would want John Collins, and I just can't do that. So what if we throw y'all Derrick Rose and OG? And I'd be willing to throw in a first round pick and maybe second round pick and even another second round and another second round. There we go. Let's go. So that actually means we need to move. Let's see. We need to move Scotty Barnes back to small forward. Gary Trent Jr. can go back to shooting guard. And our lineup's looking pretty clean now. Not a, I was about to say Super Bowl team, but still a decent lineup right now that can easily make it to the playoffs and win a couple rounds. I could see that happening. The bench is a little questionable, but we have Lonzo Ball, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, Domantas Sabonis, and John Collins, TJ McConnell, Precious, Hassan Whiteside, Kim Birch, however you pronounce that, off the bench. And let's see if we can turn some of these last bench players into a quality player. I mean, if we're being honest, who wants TJ Leaf on their team when you could have Denzel Valentine and Damian Lee? And I feel like we don't really need Hassan Whiteside anymore. We could turn him into PJ Washington. Nice. That gives us a really good backup piece right there. That made our bench a whole lot better. Let's see how this team does, guys. I was going to say do's. We're going to simulate to the end of the season. I don't really plan on making any more moves this season because I feel like we've got a pretty decent core, and not so great to start off the season, but I'll see you guys when we get to the end of the year. Alright, so end of year 2 here. As always, I wish they would fix this a little bit, but Luka Doncic wins MVP. Old Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Marvin Bagels, who found himself in Memphis somehow. I don't know what trade happened there. Giannis DPO, Jonathan Kuminga, Most Improved. Willie Green in Phoenix, maybe, I'm not sure, wins himself a Coach of the Year award. Any of our players in any of this, we do have Lonzo Ball, all defensive, but other than that, nothing too crazy. So as you can see, we did make the 7th seed. I made one more move at the trade deadline. I brought in Victor Oladipo, who honestly, yeah, I feel like he would be better as a backup small forward. I brought in Victor Oladipo. I did re-sign Precious Achiuwa to another 2-year deal. So we have a well-rounded team, but no superstars. We've got a few expiring contracts coming in. Gary Trent Jr. is probably going to be leaving us, unfortunately. But we'll have to see what happens there. So we just need to win one game, and of course we can't. We just needed to win that one game, so come on, we don't need to lose to Detroit. It's way too close for my liking. Can we pull away? Alright, 11-point game. Oh no, they're coming back. Okay. Yes, we managed to win that game. Where we go to play the Charlotte Hornets. Oh no. Who let them get this team, and how in the world did 2K let that team get first seed in the conference? I don't know what just happened. We won game 1. Probably will be the last victory of this entire series, if we're being honest with ourselves. Chet Holmgren had 26. James Bouknight, 25. LaMelo Ball, 24. But old Lonzo, playing against his brother, I didn't even think about that, had 24. Scotty Barnes came up with a huge 22. John Collins, doing okay. We may have to flip him eventually for a superstar at the end of this season. They take game 2. Yeah, I don't see us coming out of this one alive. Down 3-2. Let me go over here. We are going to shorten this rotation. We're going down to... Let's go down to 7. We only want the best players playing the best minutes. TJ McConnell, sorry, dude. You and Precious Achiuwa are not playing many minutes. Let's go over here. Let's get our offensive preferences in. We want Lonzo running the offense too. Alright, let's see if we can pull this off. Come on. Huge first quarter for both teams. Looks like we slowed up a little bit. Don't let them come back. Game 7. Let's go. Game 7 off of a huge first quarter where we took a 50-37 lead. Lonzo with 24, DeMontis 22. Everybody contributed. John Collins, though, not so much. Only 9 points, and 7 of those were free throws. All right. We need him to come in clutch for this game. It's a close, tight game. Keep it close. If we can keep it close, I think we can win. It's neck and neck. Come on. 11-point lead. Let's go! Toronto Raptors are moving on after being down 3-2, I believe. Not 3-1, unluckily for us. Where we will be playing the Atlanta Hawks. Pascal Siakam's looking to get his revenge. Trae Young obviously is going to be a big problem in this one. So let's see what we can do in this matchup. Toronto takes game 1. Atlanta takes 2. We take 3. We take 4. Come on. Let's go. And we are on to face the Milwaukee Bucks. No, do I even really need to look at this team right here? Tomas Satoransky? Chris Middleton, Giannis, Andre Drummond, Dante DiVincenzo. There shouldn't be... Did the Milwaukee Bucks seriously trade away Drew Holiday for Andre Drummond and Draymond Green? I refuse to believe 2K let that happen. They sure enough did. Alright. It's going to be a tight series. They take game 1. We take game 2, though. Oh, no. Alright. Come on, guys. Fight for this. You guys fought so hard to get here. Don't quit now. Come on, we took a massive lead there. Let's go. 3-2. Can we close it out? Is the real question. We jumped out in front. They're kind of breaking off from us. It looks like it's going to have to go to a game 7. Alright, I'm thinking, what can I do? We're playing one man off the bench. I know they're tired. Man, I know they're tired, but we gotta get the finals this year. Come on, guys. This isn't it. Come on, they took the lead, though. Come on. Oh, it's too tight. 4 point. No, we lost by 2 points. No. Milwaukee, you guys better win. And you didn't even win the finals. Oh, Milwaukee, why must you do this to me? Oh, man. I can't believe that just happened. Aye. None of this really matters right here. Let's go down here to the team and player options. Scotty Barnes will accept. Gary Trent declined, unfortunately. I was about to say, Lonzo shouldn't be a free agent, but that's LaMelo. Yeah, we'll extend to PJ Washington. And our first thing is to give a contract to Gary Trent. Did anybody else really big leave the team? So, DeMontis is still here. The big three still here. We still got Scotty. We still got... Yeah, so we really have our top core. We just need to bring back... I couldn't think of his name for a second. Gary Trent Jr. And Victor Oladipo. We'll wait and see what he's like. Yeah, we're gonna decline Skylar Mays. We don't really want him. No, I don't want to renounce the rights for PJ Washington just yet. So let's see here. Don't renounce the rights for PJ Washington, guys. I told you this. Yeah, we're going to match that. We're going to get Gary Trent back. And maybe we're able to bring in... Let's see what he wants. Oh, Victor Oladipo is just gone, isn't he? Oh, no, he's a small forward now. I forgot I changed his position. No, we won't do that to him. Can we bring in anybody that would be reasonable as a replacement for him? Terrence Mann would be interesting. Harrison Barnes could bring some offense off the bench. Let's bring in Harrison Barnes. And just because we'll go after Josh Richardson. Just to see. Yeah, bring both of them in. We don't have enough cap space for Josh Richardson. It'll be alright. Anybody get better? We got a few players getting better. Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., PJ Washington, obviously. Harrison Barnes got a lot worse. So the only changes we really need to make, let's go ahead and go to the season. I would recommend, or in my mind, I recommend us trading for a better backup point guard than TJ McConnell. And I didn't realize Harrison Barnes would fall so much. Eric Gordon, Ben McLemore. Alright, so let's see if we can get a better backup point guard. I wouldn't mind. So actually, let's look at our lineups now. We have Lonzo Ball, TJ McConnell, Gary Trent Jr. Backup is Ben McLemore. That's not good. Yeah, we might have to include one of these guys to get we need a better backup shooting guard before we go for anything else. And Kim Birch, I'm sorry, but you are going to be the big piece in this trade. Let's see if there's any good shooting guards. Luke Kennard would be interesting. Bruce Brown is a good one. He would be a great backup shooting guard. Yeah, we'll probably, let's do that trade for Bruce Brown. We probably lost a little bit of value there from Kim Birch, but he's a little older, and we don't need a 8-man or 6-man rotation at the moment. So Bruce Brown comes in, and he's starting now. Or not starting, excuse me. He better not be starting. TJ McConnell, I would like to trade for a better point guard. If we can find one. If not, let's see. Vontae Graham would be interesting. But I'm not really seeing too much. Let's see what we can get in return for these end-of-the-bench rotational players. We can bring in Jay Crowder, who's been on a good bit of playoff teams. What if we throw in a pick in there? Royce O'Neal would be interesting. Let's go for that trade. And just like that, we are not looking for players. Not looking for players. Not going to the roster. I hate this menu. Trade Finder. That's what I was looking for again. Jabari Parker fell off the face of the planet. And anything interesting here? We bring back Malachi Flynn. No, I think our team's pretty good at the moment. We got TJ McConnell, Royce O'Neal. Our bench is decent with PJ Washington. I don't think there's... Did anybody ever end up signing Victor Oladipo? No. Nobody ended up signing any of these guys because 2K... Talon Horton Tucker is sitting in free agency because 2K is absolute garbage. Obviously, we don't have the money to sign any of these guys. Jarrett Culver, that's sad. He's sitting in free agency. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's go down here. See you guys at the end of the season. I think this might be our chance to win this year. We have a good shot. Let's see how we do. If I get to the trade deadline and we're struggling, John Collins might have to go depending on what he's averaging. But I'll meet you guys there. The end of the final season here. Trae Young finally takes the MVP away from Luka. Some dude named Frederick. Interesting. Kevin Porter Jr. Giannis 3 years in a row. And Kira Lewis Jr. wins Most Improved. So that's good for him. Unfortunately, we probably did not have any of these guys. The Suns had 2 All-NBA third teams. As you can see, we did make the 2nd seed, so no play-in tournament for us this year. And we are going to go over here. Let's go back to... We're going back down to an 8-man rotation in this first round at least. Sorry, Royce, you're not getting any minutes. And hopefully we can pull through. Not the good way we wanted to start out. Last year, I think we just really ran out of gas in the tank. We cannot end this series. I'm already going to have to go down to a 7-man. We cannot end this video with another loss like this. Last episode, we rebuilt the Detroit Pistons and they couldn't get anything going in the playoffs. And we're going to get blown out. We came back. We came back. We came back. Come on, keep the lead. Let's go. Come on, that was a huge third quarter there. One more game. Come on, Toronto. I was about to root for the Hawks for a second because I just saw red immediately and I thought we were out to a lead early. Let's go, Toronto. You're making this so much harder on yourself than it has to be. Who does Cleveland have now? Darius Garland's a 90. Evan Mobley, they're a good team. They got our old Victor Oladipo who we had last year. They're definitely a good team. Should they be beating us? Probably not, but it seems every playoff series is going to take the same route. Okay, keep going. This might be it for us, folks. Yeah. It's a 3-point game. Come on. Alright. We've got a long journey ahead of us. I'm sorry. 6-man rotation. They want Gary Trent Jr. getting those minutes, and they want Bruce Brown starting? No way. Not what I meant to do either. No way Bruce Brown is starting and PJ Washington's not getting any minutes. What did Bruce Brown get last? No way he's starting and getting... No, I'm not giving him that. Come on. Come on, guys. It's way too close for my liking. Tie game with 7:34 left. No, they took it. Oh, it was in our grasps. I could feel it. Cleveland better go on to win this. Man, we're 0-2 in our last 2 rebuilds. What is this menu on the screen for? Cleveland gets almost swept. And the Celtics win it with Jason Tatum getting his first Finals MVP. 2 heartbreaking postseasons for our Toronto Raptors. Last year, I really felt like we should have won it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, turn post notifications on in order to never miss a video. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and adios.